Congratulations! You're promoted to the next level. Now, your organization just needs to figure that out too. After 27 years working at tech companies like Sun Microsystems, Oracle and Amazon Web Services, and coaching dozens of colleagues through promotions, both as someone getting promoted and helping managers promote their people, I learned a promotion is not a permission to operate at the next level. It's the other way around. You operate first at the next level, and the promotion is the confirmation that you are there. But there is a catch, and there may be a trap. Let me explain both. The traditional mindset most people have about promotions is you work hard, you hope your manager notices, you feel anxious about whether you deserve it, and you ask yourself, am I good enough for this promotion? That's the catch. It's actually the wrong question, because it's thinking too small. A much better question is my organization ready to benefit from what I can give? This reframe changes everything. It shifts you from scarcity thinking, do I deserve this, to abundance thinking, am I in the right environment to do my best work? Now, the trap I mentioned. A long time ago, I worked with a brilliant engineer who got promoted to engineering manager. After a few years, I found out his team was unhappy because he wasn't really good at managing people, and he was unhappy too because the work he loved, deep technical problem solving, was now only 20% of his job. The tragic thing was, it wasn't his fault. The organization failed to recognize that a manager job isn't a reward for being a great engineer. It's just a different job with different work, and it might not be a good fit. So, before you chase this promotion, make sure you actually understand and want the work that comes with it, not just the title. This means, let's start with understanding the why behind your next promotion. Beyond the money, obviously, we all like to earn more, of course. So, what else? What are you actually seeking? Turns out that 3 words, purpose, mastery, and autonomy, can help you decode this, and they changed everything about my job for me. What I found is that if you're highly motivated, everything else, like corporate chaos, budget cuts, reorganizations, bad managers, all of it becomes secondary. So, where do you get the right motivation? Science says 3 things, and they are not complicated. First, purpose. Why do you love your work? Not to get promoted and not to make money. Yes, we all need to pay our bills, but there has to be more than just that. So, what impact actually matters to you? For me, it was always helping customers solve tough problems. That's my thing. When I was at Sun Microsystems, then later at AWS, I always loved those moments when a customer said, "We didn't know this was possible." This purpose carried me through everything. The .com crash, company acquisitions, political nonsense, because even on the bad days I knew why I was showing up. This is how purpose helps you. It gives you the energy to push through, to grow, to develop mastery. Early in my career at Sun, and later when I joined AWS, I was like a kid in a candy store. I just wanted to try out all this cool stuff, learn new technologies, solve harder problems, help more customers succeed. The truth is, I wasn't thinking about promotions at all. I just obsessed over learning and mastering what I was doing. There's a great book by Cal Newport called So Good They Can't Ignore You. His whole point is, don't just follow your passion. Instead, build rare and valuable skills. Skills so good they can't ignore you. That's what mastery is about. And you know what happens when you get really good at something? When you deliver constant results? People start trusting you. They give you more autonomy. Now, autonomy doesn't always come automatically. Sometimes you have to ask for it. Like, hey, can I lead this project? Can I own this initiative? Can I work with that team on this problem? Depending on your organization, this might be easy or more difficult, but the worst they can say is no. And then you move on and try something else. Sometimes it's okay to just start something that makes total sense. something aligned with your purpose, and ask for forgiveness later if the results show clear value. But be careful and make sure it's low risk and you know how to undo any unintentional consequences. The beautiful thing about these three elements is purpose gives you the energy for developing mastery. Mastery delivers results which earn you autonomy, and autonomy in turn validates your purpose. It creates a positive flywheel. And the best part is these three things, purpose, mastery and autonomy, make you happy no matter what level you're at. Which is really important because sometimes your organization takes time to process promotions. There may be budget freezes, unsupportive managers, bureaucratic hoops to jump through, and so on. But if you have a clear purpose, you're building mastery, and you're gaining autonomy, you're already winning. The promotion then becomes paperwork, catching up to reality. Now, here's what happens when you get this flywheel backwards, and I've seen that too. I used to run a community of colleagues at one of my previous jobs, and the number one question people asked me by a huge margin was this: "Hey, I just got promoted. How do I get promoted to the next level?" They'd been promoted literally a month ago, and their first question was already about the next promotion? This felt very wrong to me. Because if the purpose of your job is to get promoted and everything else is secondary, that's a recipe for disaster. Because here's what happens. Promotion obsession reduces jobs into checklists. What boxes do I need to check for promotion? That takes the soul out of your work. There is no real purpose, which leads to shortcuts instead of developing real skills, so there is no mastery. And people tend to have finely tuned BS detectors. Everybody can tell when someone's just doing things to get promoted. So those people earn less trust, which means they get less autonomy, not more. It's the reverse, a downward spiral. So here's my advice, and I've seen it in many dozens of great careers. Start with purpose. What impact matters to you? Then focus on mastery. Get really good at something valuable. And as you deliver results, you'll notice more autonomy coming to you, or ask for it. By the way, this purpose, mastery, autonomy framework is not mine. Remember I said it's backed by science? Dan Pink wrote a book called Drive about the science of motivation and gave a fantastic TED talk about this that I've recommended to countless mentees. You'll find the link in the description. Alright, so you've got your purpose clear, you're building mastery, you're getting some autonomy, good. Now, how do you make it easy for your organization to recognize you're ready for the next level? First, figure out what the next level actually looks like. Mature organizations usually have level descriptions or level guides. Read and study them. But there's a better approach. Observe people who are already at that next level. What do they actually do every day? What meetings are they in? What decisions are they making, and what scope are they working at? And if you can, ask one of them to mentor you. Say, "Hey, I'm trying to understand what it takes to operate at your level. Can you help me see what that looks like?" In most cases, it boils down to two things. Bigger scope, like going from country level to regional, or from one team to a whole department, and bigger impact. More revenue, more customers, bigger organizational leverage. Second, just start doing it. Here's the secret, and that is really the whole video. You can start operating at the next level right now. You don't need permission, you just need to start. Let's say you want to influence regional strategy instead of just country level. Start writing strategy documents, share them, get feedback. You don't need a VP title to think bigger. Or ask your manager nicely for that stretch project. "Hey, I'd love to lead this initiative, can I take it on?" Or just start doing what the people at the next level are doing. Give yourself permission. Number 3. Document everything. Start an achievement log today. Seriously, open a document right after watching this video. Use the STAR method: situation, task, actions, results. Collect both the anecdotes, which are specific stories about what you did, and the data that shows the impact. Revenue generated, customers helped, team members mentored, whatever is relevant. Yes, you need this for the promotion process, but more importantly, it helps you see your own growth. It's evidence for yourself that you're not standing still. It makes that purpose, mastery, autonomy flywheel visible to you. Fourth, understand your organization's process. Some organizations are very structured. At Amazon, for example, the promotion process is extremely detailed, with documents, review meetings, and so on. Some organizations are more informal. It's about your network and your manager advocating for you. And some organizations might not really have a process at all. Or they have one, but there's no budget. This means while you might be ready for promotion, operating at the next level and all of that, the organization might not be ready to give it to you. That can be important data. For example, here's what happened to me a long time ago. At some point in my earlier career, I realized I was underpaid given my increased responsibilities and the impact I was having. So I asked my manager for a raise. They kinda shied away from it. I think they were too afraid to fight for it through their organization at the time, due to a recent reorganization or maybe some politics, budget concerns, whatever. I then got an opportunity to change teams, and I did. I moved to a sister organization within the same company. My new manager looked at my work, my scope, my impact, and within weeks got the paperwork done for that raise. Same company, same me, same work, different manager, different outcome. So sometimes you don't need a different company, you may just need a different team or a different manager. The system might be broken in one part of the organization, but it might work fine in another. But remember, all of these tactics, they don't matter if you are not actually operating at the next level. You can't just document, network, or optimize your way to a promotion. You have to do the work first. The good news is, if you're doing the work, if you're operating at that next level, fueled by purpose, building mastery, delivering results, getting more autonomy, and so on, then these tactics can make it easier for the organization to catch up to the reality of your work. Which brings me to the reality check. Okay, reality check time. Sometimes, even when you're doing everything right, operating at the next level, building mastery, delivering results, the promotion doesn't come. Maybe there is no budget. Maybe your manager isn't great at advocating. Maybe the process is broken. Maybe it's just not the right time. This is when you need two things: patience and awareness. Patience, because sometimes things just take time. I've seen organizations go through budget freezes, reorganizations, leadership changes, and then 6 months later, things open up again. If you've got that clear purpose we talked about, if you're building mastery and gaining autonomy, you can weather those periods, because you're already getting value from the work itself. But you also need awareness too, because you need to pay attention to the data. Is this temporary? Or is this just how this organization operates? Is your manager genuinely trying to help you, or are they following different priorities? Is the system designed to grow people, or is it a zero-sum game? Remember that question from the beginning: is your organization ready to benefit from what you can give? If the answer is not yet, but maybe soon, then patience makes sense. But if the answer is no, and it's not going to change, then it might be time to find an environment that is ready. I wrote a blog post called "The 4 Horsemen of a Dying Career" about recognizing when it's time to move on. That's what led me from Oracle to AWS. I basically promoted myself into a better organization. But here's the good news. Whether you stay or go, you're in control. Your development doesn't depend on any single promotion. Your growth doesn't depend on any single organization. Focus on purpose, build mastery, and develop autonomy. The right opportunities will find you. And if they don't find you where you are, you'll be ready for them somewhere else. Alright, let's get to the homework part. Here's your homework before you close this video. 3 things. Number 1, Write down your purpose, mastery, and autonomy right now. What impact matters to you? What skills are you building? What decisions do you want to make? Just 3 sentences. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just get it out of your head and onto paper or a document. Number 2. Start your achievement log today. Open a document, add 1 story from the last month using STAR: situation, task, actions, result. Set a reminder to update it weekly. This will help you see your own growth clearer. Number 3. Pick 1 next level move and just start doing it. Find out what people at the next level are doing. Then either ask your manager for that stretch project or just start doing it yourself. Give yourself permission. And remember, you don't need to wait for a promotion to operate at the next level. The promotion is just the paperwork catching up. Write in the comments, what's your purpose at work? I'm really curious what drives all of you. There is a companion post on my blog with more background, book tips, links to Dan Pink's TED Talk, the 4 Horsemen post and more. The link is in the description. And if you found this helpful, please consider liking this video and subscribing to my channel. I make videos about AI, productivity, and navigating your tech career. Thank you for watching. See you next time.